and welcome back to Workbook 1, Session 5. In this session you're going to be baking a batch of Cornish pasties. So we're going to start the tutorial by looking at the history of the Cornish pasty. I'm then going to help you with your drawing skills, so this will help you with your design tasks. We're going to move on to looking at your photography skills and how you can photograph your food to really showcase it. And then finally, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how you could develop this particular recipe to make it even more creative. So we're going to start thinking a little bit more outside of the box. So let's get started.
The Cornish pasty has been around for centuries now. It was designed as a handheld pie with meat and vegetables in it. The EU Protected Food Name Scheme highlights regional and traditional foods whose authenticity and origin can be guaranteed. The Cornish pasty now has protected food status, and therefore, technically, only pasties made in Cornwall can be called Cornish pasties. There are other foods from around the world that have this protected status. Can you think of any? The traditional Cornish pasty is filled with beef, potato, swede and onion. It is made from a short crust pastry and is folded over so that it looks like a semicircular shape. It generally has a crimped crust. It was a popular lunch choice for tin miners in Cornwall. The whole pastry acted as the lunch box. The purpose of the crust was to act as the handle for the miners. There were high levels of arsenic from the tin they were mining, so they couldn't risk eating anything that their hands had touched. Miners' wives would engrave the initials of their husbands into one corner of the Cornish pasty so that they were able to identify each other's lunch. The pasty kept the contents warm through the day, and often one end of the pasty would be filled with a sweet filling and one with a savoury, so that the miners had a main meal as well as a sweet dessert. However, the crust wasn't wasted. The ponies that were used to work in the mines were quite hardy and could eat the crust and not be affected by the arsenic. Let's take another look at how you can photograph your Cornish pasty to really showcase your work and show how well you've done. It's important to get a really clear shot of your pasty. You want to make sure that it's in focus and shows your product in all its glory. Beige and brown don't tend to be very appealing colours on a plate, so feel free to add garnish or use vegetables or even add a colourful plate or backdrop to make your presentation even better. It would also be great if you can cut the pasty in half to show the fillings oozing out. You could perhaps show two alternatives for your photographic evidence. When developing your Cornish pasty recipe, think about the fillings. So traditionally, a Cornish pasty is filled with beef, sliced potato, swede and onion. But it doesn't have to be. This is your version of it now, so you could change those ingredients around. You might want to explore the option of a sweet and savoury Cornish pasty in line with the really old version of the Cornish pasty. Let's explore the design techniques. Your designs can be hand-drawn or drawn electronically using a program of your choice. Over the course of the qualification, I'd recommend that you have a combination of both of these skills. Colour is vital in terms of showing your presentation and how you expect your dish to look. Labelling to identify ingredients is also important. Annotation goes on to explain those labels. For example, instead of just saying swede, you could say swede. This is a traditional ingredient in the Cornish pasty and is a good source of fibre. You should now be able to complete Session 5 of Workbook 1.